public hearing for the 2025 budget amendment. Are there any written comments? No. Are there any oral comments? We'll close the public hearing for the 2025 budget amendment. The May 12th, 2025 meeting of Liscomb City Council will now come to order. Roll call: Craig?
Yeah.
Ted?
Here.
Mike? Pam? Yes. Devin? We'll open the regular session for the order of business. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as printed?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Craig?
Yeah.
Ted?
Yes.
Mike? Pam? Devin? The agenda has been approved as printed. I'm going to turn it over to Ted to introduce our speaker, and he'll go from there.
I wanted to introduce our John Thomas, Police Chief of State Center. The discussion on whether we have a nuisance officer. He's going to represent it, tell us what he does, and as when we get done, the council will ask him questions, and then afterwards, people out there can ask him questions. All right,
I'm going to stand because I walk when I talk. My name's John Thomas. I'm the Chief in State Center. I was asked to come to the meeting tonight to talk to you guys about nuisance abatement. I've been the Chief in State Center just over 5 years. When we started 5 years ago, nuisance abatement was something the city said they did, but didn't actually follow through with. So I hired one of my reserves. Her full-time job is she's a nuisance compliance officer for the city of Knoxville. And so Officer Clark really shaped how State Center does nuisance abatement. So we started with our biggest problem houses that we had in town. We had dilapidated houses that were empty, that didn't have siding, didn't have doors, people were going into at night, kids were doing, graffiti and things like that inside. We had some homeless people sleeping in them, and we got those addressed. We had a trailer fire, and had we not done nuisance abatement on that property, that trailer would probably still be here, burned, and partially there. That property is not there anymore, and we now have a new home which has been constructed there. Nuisance abatement on a really 10,000 foot level is simply this. It's about setting what standards you want for your community. Make no qualms about it. You are going to make some people angry. My job when I do nuisance abatement State Center, it's a fine balance. I'm a pretty conservative perspective on, like, if it's my property, why is the government telling me what to do with my property? So from that standpoint, I have to balance that with your property is in the city limits of State Center, or in this case, the city limits of Liscomb, and you have a responsibility to be a good partner to your neighbors. Because if you have one neighbor who takes pristine care of their property, and the next neighbor has 30 tires and 3 junk vehicles and grass that is 8 inches tall on their property, they are diminishing the quality of life and the value of their neighbor who's taking good care of their property. Is Liscomb ever going to look like a golf course? No. A State Center? No. It's not my job. This isn't a homeowners association. There are not, we're not out there with a ruler measuring grass at State Center or things like that. What you don't see when you drive around State Center is you don't see cars sitting on blocks and driveways anymore. You did 5 years ago. You don't see somebody that has 16 tires behind the garage that fill with water that mosquitoes all live in during the summer, and they're using them to hold down tarps and things like that. It detracts from the quality of life of everyone else. State Center's had enough success that over the last, I would say, 12 to 16 months, the other mayors of the other communities in Marshall County had a meeting. The idea of nuisance abatement was brought up. There was a follow-up meeting to that, to which Officer Clark and I attended at the McDonald's in Marshalltown, and that might have even been late 23, early 2024. And the community said, how do we do something like this things like that. What I will tell you is this, once you start doing it, you don't get to stop. It doesn't end. Because the minute you don't follow up on it, things go back to the way they were. Now, when I say follow up, I'm to a point in State Center where I spend a day to a day and a half a month. I have a spreadsheet. I know what property I gave somebody a notice on, and then we give them time to fix it. Make no qualms about it, and I preach this in State Center, and if the city of Liscomb wants to pursue a nuisance abatement program, I would tell you the same thing. Nobody sitting at this table wants your constituents and your neighbors' money. You want their compliance. You want them to take their tires and dispose of them at the landfill. You want the car that hasn't ran for 7 years. Listen, if you have a perfectly good garage and you have a car in your yard on blocks, either put it in your garage or get rid of it. But it doesn't belong in your yard where it then detracts from my property value and where it creates a home for roads and things like that. We have, in 5 years of doing this in State Center, I've been to court twice. And our fines are pretty small. We start at $25 a day. If we have a dangerous house where the roof's falling in and it's a huge community endangerment, that fine goes up to $100 a day. All this is set by the Code of Iowa, how far you can penalize people. But we don't penalize people monetarily unless they just blatantly refuse to work with us. I just took my second guy to court and I gave him 3 years to comply. And after he just blatantly refused to do simple things like get rid of 8 tires on a lawnmower, okay, if you're not gonna work with me, then a judge will encourage you to work with me. And so the code, your city ordinances lay out, right? You get 5 days for this abatement, you get 10 days for this, right? Like tall grass is like 24 hours if your grass is too tall. I am here to tell you, if I give anybody in State Center tall grass, their grass has to be like 9 or 12 inches tall. Like I'm not running around with a ruler in State Center on tall grass. But when I do give them a letter about tall grass, I'm giving them 5 days to fix it. And then if they don't fix it, I go back and I give them another 5 days. If they blatantly don't do what I ask them to do, then I show them what the fee schedule is. And when I show them that it's gonna be $750 because they chose not to mow their grass, they almost always mow their grass that day. So we have had to impose very, very few fines. In fact, only one monetarily, and we have 1 pending. And we gave that guy, we went to court and asked the judge to fine this man $6,000. And the judge was ready to fine the man $6,000. And I looked at him and I said, are you sure you just don't want to get rid of your 2 junk cars and your lawnmowers and your tires? And he's like, I just need a little more time. So what do? We gave him another month. I've given him 3 years and I still gave him another month. We don't want people's money. We want their compliance. And so doing a nuisance abatement program is simply this. It's setting what standards you want for your community. But make no qualms about it. You cannot care what somebody's last name is. You can't care who they're married to. You can't care if they're on the fire department or if they're on the city council. You have to apply your standard equitably across the board. And whether you want to hire somebody to do it, whether you want Meredith and I to do it, or whether somebody else wants to do it, once you start, you have to have that follow through. So time frame wise, nuisance abatement in State Center, we start in April and we finish up September, October. That's where we kind of really drive home our biggest projects. Now, ambulance is coming. The reality of it is, if somebody has a rundown house that has a roof falling in and things like that, we'll continue to work on those things over the winter. But I'm not asking people to go outside and move their junk cars and move their tires when it's 20 below zero. I mean, the reality of it is, just like in State Center, your residents in some of these properties, they didn't get this way overnight. It's not gonna get fixed overnight. And if you think, hey, we're gonna hire John and Meredith, man, the world's gonna be better in 3 months, I'm just here to tell you, you have unrealistic expectations. What I will tell you is, if you hire John and Meredith to do this, after 30 days, after we go out and we do our first 2 visits, we call them inspections, the city council is gonna get a spreadsheet that says, here's 47 properties, or here's 42 properties, or here's 31 properties. That list will get shorter. You take the low-hanging fruit first. You take the worst of the worst. What I'll tell you is this, the people who support what you're doing are gonna say it quietly in their backyard and say, man, I'm really glad, you know, the neighbor's car's finally gone, or this, that, or the other. The people who are angry about what you're doing are gonna blow you up on Facebook. They are going to blow you up in city council meetings, and they are gonna make their unhappiness very well known. Here is how we approach that in State Center. We have a community standard. That community standard is set by the council and the police chief in State Center. Here it's set by the council. You have to communicate to us what you want to tolerate and what you don't. And whatever that standard is the community standard. If you want to live in the community, then you need to live within the standard. You know, if you don't want 12-inch high grass, then hold people accountable. But it's not going to get fixed overnight. Once you start, it is a forever ongoing process. I'm not saying that a year or 2 down the road, when things are manageable, you couldn't take it over yourselves, when you wouldn't have to pay somebody to do it. I'm not saying you can't do it now on your own. What I'm telling you is, I think it's gonna be really hard for somebody here to take it on by themselves, because number 1, you don't quite know what you're doing, and number 2, it's like anything else. Starting it's the worst part. I mean, it's just, people aren't happy when you knock on their door and you tell them what to do with their own property. So that's kind of the backstory on State Center. That's kind of how we've done things there. To be really clear, you are not hiring the State Center police chief to do this. I have a private business that I do consulting work for. You're hiring John and Meredith. You're not hiring Chief Thomas and Officer Clark. We're not coming up here wearing badges and guns and driving police cars. We're coming up here as people who run a private business to do nuisance abatement. There's a couple of other companies in Iowa that do that, and so that's basically the same service we'd be offering you. So, Madam Mayor, any? Discuss costs. In the rate in which the other companies charge is $80 an hour. So, quick math, if I do 1 day a month, because we have to do, on top of doing inspections, we have to do letters, we have to do certified letters, things like that. You can figure we're gonna spend 10 hours a month. That's 120 hours a year at $80 an hour. If I did some quick math right, I think that's $9,600. Now, here's the reality. State Center doesn't have $9,600 to throw at nuisance abatement. I don't think Liscomb probably does either. Do I want to help you? The answer is yes. Do I think it's going to be 10 hours every month during the winter and things like that? Probably not. I don't know what the answer is. Trying to come up with the number that I thought you can afford that makes it worth my time to drive up here on my day off and things like that is I would offer you a 1-year contract for $2,500. So if we go to court, the city pays the cost of their own legal representation, but that $2,500 is a all-inclusive price for my time, my gas, me testifying in court, whatever else comes up. Letters, yeah. Because the other thing of it is, I think it's just being a chicken. I don't know your name. What's your name?
Pam.
If I come to Pam's house because I have a problem with Pam, I think it's complete garbage if I don't have the fortitude to knock on your door and try and have a conversation with you in person instead of just blindly sending you a letter and then you being like, you know, I gotta remember, I'm being politically correct. Being verbally upset and using some choice language. It's like, people want to be talked to. Like,
well, we were told at one point, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
We were told at one point that we weren't allowed to go on people's property.
Where are you getting your information from?
You can when you have a legal purpose. You have to be very cautious about how you do it, right? You don't get to go in their backyard and things like that. But, no, you can, but here's the bigger problem. Let's say every council member said, I'm gonna take these 5 blocks, and I'm gonna take these 5 blocks. The problem is, then you have 5 different people applying a different standard. Even though you all kind of agree on what the standard is, there's no way 5 people can apply the same standard to 5 different areas. So ultimately, you have to have one person applying the standard. But I'm a big believer in knock on the door, talk to the person. I get paid to get yelled at. I've been a cop for 27 years. I've been called everything under the book. I don't think Liscomb can call me anything I haven't been yelled at before. But honestly, most people want to know, like, what do I need to do so that I don't have to worry about this? I tell you what, and the key to it is, and I have to think, this is a small town. I grew up in a small town. I'm the chief in a small town. The key is to work with your folks, right? Like, hey, you can't have the truck in the yard on blocks. Well, it was my grandfather's and he died. My son and I want to, we want to restore it, but we can't do it for 3 years. Okay, well, there's your garage. Could you at least put it behind your garage where it's not unsightly for everybody who drives down the street? My lawnmower's been broken. I haven't had a chance to fix it. Okay, well, do you have a neighbor you can call? We can arrange for it to get mowed at a cost to you. I mean, this is about working with your residents to gain compliance voluntarily. The last thing you want to do is take people to court. It's the last thing I want to do. It's not how I like to do business. So a certified letter costs like $4.65 now. Is it worse?
Well, if you get a return receipt, it's $8 and something.
Right. So for $8 a letter, I'd rather knock on your door and go, Pam, hey, it's Saturday morning. Typically, I can tell you, we're gonna do inspections on either Wednesdays or Saturdays. I really try not to disturb people on Sundays. I think it's kind of family day. I don't wanna be upsetting people's church day, things like that, so. Probably be a Wednesday or a Sunday. I'm a firm believer in just knocking on the door and having a conversation. And then we document all those things. Pam told me to go fly a kite and to take my letter and shove it where the sun didn't shine. Okay, I make that note, and then I send you a certified letter because you didn't want to play nice, right? But if Danette comes to the door and she's like, I know, I need to move the car. We had one garage in State Center that literally, instead of sitting square, was sitting at like a 30-degree angle. And I rode the guy and I notated it for about 12 months. I finally said to him, I'm like, listen, this is the last time I'm coming. He's like, I know, I just need to do it. And I found out today that he actually went and apologized to his neighbor. He's like, listen, this is on me. I should have fixed this a long time ago. I'm really sorry. I had no idea that happened. But you know what he did? He tore down his garage and he put up a new one. He just needed a little motivation to get it done. He knew his garage was unsafe. I mean, literally, he'd have felt horrible if some 7-year-old kid went by and today was the day the wind blew over the garage. So that's kind of what what we would do it for. I don't think you'd find anybody to do it any cheaper. Honestly, I'm just trying to help Liscomb. I mean, $2,500, I don't know what your total city budget is. That's not cheap, but compared to what it could cost you, that's not expensive. My goal would be to help you for a year or two to where to the point that somebody could manage it if they wanted to, and you could do it in-house, and we wouldn't have to drive up here and do it like that. But there has to be a learning curve to it. You kind of have to understand the process and things like that.
So you say 1-year contracts, 2,500, what do you hit with year 2 then? Another 1-year?
I don't even know. I mean, here's the thing. After 1 year, you guys might be like, hey, I think we can do this. Like, let's take it on ourselves. I don't know after doing this for 1 year that I want to do it for a second year. I mean, I don't know. Like, this is, honestly, like, this isn't necessarily something that I would seek out. I have not approached cities and said, hey, let me be your nuisance officer for $2,500 a pop. That wasn't, I'm here because I was asked to see if I could help you. I don't want to do a multi-year contract because I don't know that I want to do it a second year. You guys might do it for a year and say, we've been yelled and screamed at for 12 council meetings in a row. You know what? We're not doing it again. Okay. What you also might find out is, you know what? We got a lot of pushback. Man, town sure looks better. this is worth what we did.
So do you go by our ordinance, or do you go by the state code?
Your ordinance,
Our
your
ordinance.
city ordinance is what we enforce.
So you're gonna go around and inspect to our ordinance, and then you're gonna make the decision on who gets a letter? Because
Yes.
you obviously cannot pick and choose.
Correct, like, you have to tell me what you kind of, like, what's your biggest gripes? I mean, I would tell you, for me, vehicles, tires, garbage. I mean, we had people in town that ripped a deck off their house 2 years ago and just had the boards sitting in their backyard. Like, that's ridiculous, like, take care of it, you know? And as soon as we sent him a letter, he's like, I know. And you know what he did? The next week, he had a trailer behind his pickup truck and the boards were gone. Perfect, thank you very much. Like, a lot of this stuff is not heavy lifting. It's just, you know, the old saying, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Well, when somebody's sending you a letter and they're telling you, if you don't get it fixed, it's $25 a day for the first 10 days, and it's $50 a day for the next 10 days. And by the way, if you don't fix it by day 21, it goes to $100 a day. And you start, I mean, we have not had to impose those fines to get the compliance, because why wouldn't you just move the boards instead of paying a $500 fine? People clean up their properties when they're given the alternative of get rid of your tires and fix your stuff, or pay a fine.
Now, how far can you go in on the property? You back behind the house and,
I mean, if I can see it from the alleyway, if I can see it, I mean, honestly, in State Center, if somebody's got a 10-foot fence and I hear that they've got chickens in the back row and everything else, we just fly our drone. I mean, I can put my drone up in the street and look at the entire town and go, that's a problem, that's a problem, that's a problem. And there's no issue there. So, I mean, the biggest thing is, there are so many, and when I say this, I'm talking State Center, there are so many obvious violations. I don't need to look behind people's 8-foot privacy fence, because if it's behind your 8-foot privacy fence, it's probably not a problem. I had one guy who had weeds and trees and brush that were so bad, they were actually over the 6-foot privacy fence. And I sent him a letter, and he went and hired somebody. He hired a 19-year-old kid from State Center and paid him $300 for the weekend, and they ripped it all out. And guess what? Even though the other things behind the fence don't look great, I don't see them. Like, okay. We don't have to go looking for those horrible problems. Can we go on the property if we think that there is a nuisance? Yes. Are we, quote unquote, searching the property? No. You're looking for the things that are in plain view. I mean, if you as the neighbor can look at John's property and say, hey, there's a car in the backyard and it's been there for 24 years. Well, then I can probably just go talk to your neighbor. But what I don't like, and we have this happen sometimes in State Center, I have a couple of residents that have a lot of free time, they're retired, and they drive around on their golf carts, and then they take pictures, and then they drop off pictures at City Hall, and they're the quote-unquote community police. Now, they don't really like when I tell them, they don't really like it when I tell them, like, well, Bobby's got an RV parked in his driveway. Yeah, that's not a nuisance issue. Like, it's a driveway, it's a registered vehicle, like, well, I just think it looks bad. Okay, but that's not against the ordinance. So sometimes we have to manage what people's expectations are too. Like, well, I just don't think you ought to be able to park RVs in your driveway. Take it to your council, because that's not a hill I'm gonna die on. Like, you know, if you bought an RV, good for you. Like, I hope you go on vacation, it's not in your driveway. Anything else from the council?
Talk about junk vehicles, about how it's used.
So junk vehicles, there's this concept that people will take a junk vehicle and they'll put a registration sticker on it, like, yeah, it's registered. That doesn't make it not a junk vehicle. Junk vehicles, and most of the ordinances, I would have to look at your ordinances before we enforce them. Most of the ordinances talk about junk vehicles being vehicles with missing parts, damaged beyond operation. So just because you put a registration sticker on it that says it's good through December of 2025, does not make that vehicle not junk. That is not an overly popular opinion for those people who have such vehicles, but the bottom line of it is, either make it operational or store it somewhere that is not out in the wide open.
It's gotta be moved under its own power, it says.
Yeah.
But talk about how you have an arrangement with.
Oh, so what we've done in State Center, I just did this today with my guy who we're trying to work with. We have an arrangement with Crutchfield where we have junk vehicles that they'll crush, and I think they get like $250 or $300 for them. Crutchfield will come out and pick them up. Like, all you gotta do is call and say, hey, there's a car at 101 First Avenue North in State Center. The owner has the title and the keys, and they'd like you to come take it off the property. They come out and get it. I mean,
But you gotta have the title?
no, not necessarily.
Okay.
You have to, we just have to like prove ownership or prove that you have the right to have it demolished or whatever the case is. Because we have sometimes when vehicles are lost, and titles are lost and things like that. We're in the debate right now, in State Center, we haven't done it in the time I've been there, of having like a community cleanup day. Where, you know what, like, people have paint in their houses that you don't want them to put in the trash can, but they're trying to get rid of, or they have some metal that they don't know where to get rid of, or anything like that. So, the bottom line of it is, if the council wants to do things like this, then we have to create opportunities for folks to help themselves and help you with the direction you wanna go.
We got that coming in 3 weeks.
Perfect,
So, yeah, we really do.
awesome. Anything else from the council?
I just think that the nuisance officer probably would have saved us an awful lot of money from Dubuque Street. I bet we spent $20,000 to get rid of stuff. And if we'd have had a nuisance officer, probably would have taken care of that way before it got so far out of hand.
But we do have a nuisance officer, she's right there.
That one.
Like, I'm not being rude or anything.
I know, but we've
that's-
sent, how many letters have we sent out, like for junk cars? Well, quite a few. How many have we ever removed? None.
But why haven't?
Not true.
That's.
Because I guess we don't know exactly how to go about it.
I'll
So figure out how to go about it.
Why don't?
Figure it out.
Darwin and I drove around the other night and we counted 21 that haven't been moved in 30 days or inoperable or.
I drove around with the mayor here last week. We came up and she's like, you know, just what stands out to you? I mean, I really think, and again, like, here's the question. If you don't want to do a year contract, that's fine. Like, I just want to be really clear. I'm willing to help you. I will help you to some extent for free. I mean, I'll come up just as one small city in Marshall County to another and sit down and go, hey, here's some ways we do it. Like, I don't mind spending a day or two. If you want me to come up and spend 2 weeks over the next 6 months, the State Center doesn't pay me for that, and I'm not gonna donate 2 weeks of my time. If this is a matter of you guys are like, listen, we wanna do it on our own, but we need the guidance to do it, can we work out a different deal? That's fine, then, you know, throw me a different solution. I'm just willing to help you, but I just want to be really clear that, like, I didn't solicit this, I didn't send letters out, and I'm not looking to have everybody in town hate the State Center Police Chief.
I just think it's a very dangerous path, no offense.
Yeah, no, you're
When
good.
you pull in somebody from the outside, he's gonna make the decisions. I don't understand why we don't follow through with our own things, I guess.
This
That's
day
why
and
I'm-
age, and you go to somebody's door, it's pretty
You go to your
dangerous.
Hey, even if, we don't say about going to the door thing, you're sending them letters. Why aren't we following through with that?
Well, don't you think it'd be better to be personally, to go to somebody? And when
Absolutely,
Hank
I do.
was mayor, he used to go to the
I
doors.
absolutely
He
do.
used to go to the doors. How many junk cars did we get rid of, Hank, even though he went to doors?
Oh, we got them moved around. I think
Yeah,
they actually towed 2 of them
Yeah,
in 7 years.
All they have to do is move them, right?
that's what I say. It's not-
See, that's
I just-
interpretation.
If it's a-
I think it takes the burden off our mayor, it takes the burden off us as councilmen.
If it's an actual junk
That's your
vehicle,
job.
That's your job.
if it's an actual junk vehicle, it has to be either stored inside or removed from the property. Moving it from the left side of the garage to the right side does not mitigate the nuisance. Like, we wouldn't let that fly.
That's what I would suggest.
And I'll just tell you, right, because I have a city council just like yours. The reality of it is, who here on the council ran to be the nuisance officer? Nobody.
The mayor. The
Did you?
mayor's a nuisance
Well,
officer.
it's in the ordinance, right? And I mean, it is, right? That's how it's wrote.
But the reality of it is, in our city ordinance, it's the same thing, the mayor's a nuisance officer or his designee, because my mayor's a farmer. He is not gonna go out and do nuisance abatement, it's not in his wheelhouse. Now, I'm not saying that's right, wrong, or indifferent, but the reality of it is, most elected officials don't
Well,
want,
she's got a full-time job.
don't want that responsibility, and it's unpleasant. So, you know, I'm just throwing that. Madam Mayor, I'm gonna hijack your meeting for a second. All right, so I'm just gonna stand up so I can see it. So for the folks in the gallery, in the public, thoughts, questions, like, absolutely. Just tell me your name so I can talk to you.
My name's Justin Love, I live on 201 State Street.
Perfect.
So that car you were talking about, say you're okay, you talk to them and they say, you know what, I'm just gonna move it behind the garage, like you said. So you get a call from the neighbor, the one that's wanting to cause problems for this person, that
Yep.
wants to press the issue. You just said you can't have it both ways, so where do you go?
So the question is, the question is this, right? It's kind of like when I do speeding enforcement, right? The speed limit's 55. Do I stop cars at 56? I don't. I mean, I actually am pretty generous about it. So the question is, we have to talk about what the tolerance is, right? By letter of the law, is the car behind the garage still a violation? The answer is yes, it is. Is it a violation that we can tolerate because it's not out in the front yard for everybody to drive by and detract from? So that's where the balance. But when I make an exception to let you park a car behind your garage, I also have to make an exception for Pam. That has to be applied equitably. And that's just what it comes down to.
Slope, and you know it.
What's that?
That's a slippery
It
slope.
is, but the reality of it is too, right, we live in a small town so that we have a little more flexibility, right? If I wanted to live in Marshalltown or State Center and I wanted a more
Right.
rigid thing, then I would live in those towns. So we have to find that balance, right? And when I say we, I mean you, because I work at what you want to set for your discretion. But yeah, there has to be some balance. There has to be, is a car with a cracked windshield a junk vehicle? Probably not. Is the car with the missing front axle that's been there for 7 years missing a front axle a junk vehicle? I'd probably say it is. So, but go ahead.
But does it also come down to how far somebody wants to push the issue? Because like you said, although you might want to be lenient with this guy, and everybody knows this situation, everybody feels bad, but at the end of the day, you can't because you told the other guy you couldn't, and that's just how it is, regardless of who you are, what your circumstances are.
So ultimately, that comes back to the elected officials, right? Like, so for me, I set a standard, right? And I set that discretionary level, right? Like, we're not gonna run around with a tape measure, but if your weeds are
If
12
somebody
inches,
wants to, they will, though.
What's that?
If somebody wants to press an issue, they will.
then it's simply, this is where the advantage is to having somebody from the outside, like, listen, we're not sending people letters because their grass is 6.5 inches tall and 5 inches is the limit. That's not the standard we're enforcing.
But you could.
You
And
could,
you almost have to if you do it to somebody else, otherwise you're.
but you don't do it to somebody else. That's the whole thing. You set the standard and you apply it equitably. There is nobody, as an example, there's nobody in State Center getting a letter for 5 inches or 6.5 inch grass. If it's 10 inches tall, you might.
I understand what you're saying, and I've actually been saying this, probably the whole time I've been coming up here, because I started coming up here for some of these issues. But I think what you said about a neighbor knocking on a door and just being a neighbor and expressing your concerns, and like you said, probably solve a lot of these issues. That's been absent, I feel like, in a lot of these circumstances.
It's absent in State Center too, I'll tell you why. People don't like confrontation. People will send an anonymous letter to City Hall and say, Justin's grass is tall, but they won't knock on your door and say, hey, I'm having a barbecue for my mom's 65th birthday and we're having like 30 people over, could you mow your grass? They won't do that, but they'll send a letter to City Hall and be cowardice about it. And it's not,
But we have, I'm saying our
Yeah.
city council hasn't done this either. is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like there's been much of an attempt on a personal level to be neighborly and talk to people about some of these issues and concerns that people have. If a neighbor doesn't feel comfortable going to another neighbor, then they ought to be able to go to the council, and the council ought to be able to do that for them, if it's that big of a deal, because that's part of the nuisance process, is confronting the issue.
The only thing.
What I'm saying is, we've been
Sorry.
missing that up until now, so for me to sit here and think about the city spending $2,500 just to go talk to have somebody go talk to somebody for them seems ridiculous.
How well did that work at Dubuque Street?
It's gone, Ted, and you wouldn't have gotten rid of that without paying for it regardless of this guy.
$20,000.
Listen, you'd have had to pay to get rid of that anyway, Ted.
$20,000.
Yes,
I was gonna
and you
say,
would have had
it
to
probably-
pay that. He's not gonna pay that for
Are
you.
you talking about a
He's
six-
contract.
Did you do a
It's
657
not gonna
house?
get that far out of
And-
hand.
That house was.
You don't know that.
Is turned over to your attorney.
You
Yes.
said they
Well,
talked to
you'd
him,
sure
and it
hope
did
not.
get that far out of hand.
Yeah.
I sure hope not, if we had a nuisance officer.
You did, it was the mayor. Hank was the
them?
nuisance officer,
Yes,
And
Ted.
how many letters we sent those people?
Hank was
So
the
they would have abided the nuisance officer after
Whoa,
not.
hey, just 1 second, here's the thing, if I'm gonna stay in the meeting, I'm game for everybody to be heard, I just gotta have one person talk at a time, because I only hear one voice at a time. I wanna let you finish, I wanna let that gentleman talk next. I
Hank
heard you
talking
say-
to them and that getting taken care of it, yes, it cost $20,000 or whatever it costs to clean up, but you saved $2,500 by Hank doing his job as a nuisance officer, that's all I'm saying.
Sir, in the back of the room?
I was just trying to clarify, it seemed like there was a miscommunication, sorry.
Oh, no, you're good, I just wanna be able to hear
No,
everybody.
You're good, I wasn't, yeah.
I'm good with whatever you wanna do, and I'm honestly, I'm good to go, I mean, I don't mean that meanly, I just, this is what I told you, right? You're gonna catch pushback. It's tax dollars, it's a piece of your budget, things like that. The choice is obviously yours. Again, I throw this out that I feel like this is an à la carte offer. I would tell you, I just caution you on this, if the council decides to do it, you gotta pick two, right? Because you have to have that balance, because that way, what's your name, sir? So that way, when somebody goes, well, Devin said this and Pam said that, it's like, nope. Devin and Pam are taking on nuisance together, and they are applying it equally across the board. But when you give, let's say you have a neighbor on the east side of town that complains about your grass, and then somebody has grass that's just as tall on the west side of town, you have to address it with the guy on the, or the woman, the homeowner on the west side of town also, because you have to apply it equitably around the entire, to all the properties in town.
Okay, so the one on the east comes to you, and the grass is a half an inch too tall.
I'm not touching it. Flat.
But you could.
I could, but guess what? We're not, because our
I think it's just
standard,
a slippery slope. is what
yeah,
I'm saying.
yes, sir.
This is kind of toward the council about you.
Sure.
You guys would be fools not to hire this man. The reason I say this, I see the bickering, I see the arguing, I see the bias that comes from these tables periodically. This man doesn't have any of that. He's gonna look at it, it's gonna be black and white. There's no gray zone here. Either yes, we're gonna do this, or no, we're not gonna do that. So, like I said, personal level, as a citizen of the town, that man's got my vote. You're a fool not to hire him.
And I just want to go, I'll get right to you, but I just want, to your point, could you enforce it at a half inch over? Sure. Can I stop a car for 36 and a 35? Sure. But we won't, and we wouldn't. And honestly, I would quit. If you said 5 1/4 inches, John, that 1/4 inch, we're sending him a letter. Yeah, guess what? You hired the wrong guy, because I'm much more worried about tires and cars and dilapidated buildings than I am a half inch tall grass. Yes, ma'am.
Having been involved with this pretty intimately, one of the biggest challenges that I saw, you just pointed out, inadvertently, I might add, Devon's standards are not the same as Pam's.
Right.
And they're not the same as Danette's, not the same as Ted's, not the same as mine. So if the city council were to hire you, you may very well provide that dampening between the excesses.
Yeah.
That,
I'm the buffer.
that you may very well be that.
The lady behind you had something. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to hire a nuisance officer because one of my neighbors, I was talking to her, and she said people on the council are driving around her property and taking notes and pictures and stuff like that, and nobody says anything, nobody explains what they're doing, and it's very unsettling. I mean, you know, to have people on the city council be doing this, it's extremely unsettling. They should be, if they're going to do it, be talking to that person first of all.
Knock on the door, absolutely. You know, I make no call. I had a guy come outside today, he was upset. The only thing he did today is, he beat me to get me getting out of my car. I drove by, I was taking a picture of the side yard, and as I turned the corner, he's outside and he is livid. Like, he had a few words for me that started with chicken and ends with manure. And I said, listen, I didn't even round the corner yet. Like, you're out here yelling at me. I was going to stop and talk to you. So here's the thing. And it's the second time I've talked to him. I told him in March he wants to do a frame off restoration. He has an old truck sitting over here that doesn't run. And then he has a vehicle frame with 4 tires sitting next to it in his backyard. Put it in your garage. Well, I don't have a garage where I can do this work. That's not my problem. But what you can't do is, you're not gonna do a frame off restoration on a truck and a frame in your backyard for the next 5 years in town. So this is a you problem, not a me problem. But what I'm telling you is, move your trucks, or in 30 days, I'm gonna get a tow truck and move them with the judge's order. But, sorry.
The other thing I'd like to bring up is that the gap in the process. I mean, we've sent out, I don't know how many letters, and quite honestly, unless you roll a letter up and poke it in somebody's eye, you're not going to hurt anybody with it. So there's been a lack of will to follow through, and quite honestly, a lack of understanding of the available processes.
Yep.
This property that we keep referring to, our $20,000 investment in that $4,000 piece of property, a lot of that expense was because, as long as I've been an engineer, I'll be damned if I know what the processes are required to enforce something on a piece of property that nobody owns, but yet you can't do anything with. So I think that understanding of how to follow through and what's available, what can be done, and how to do it, I think would be a lot better.
The smartest thing I did was hire somebody smarter than me who taught me how to do it. And honestly, now I can do it because she's mentored me for 2.5 years. And she's great. She's a rocket scientist. In fact, she was Code Enforcement Officer of the Year last year. I mean, she's great. But State Center didn't know what we were doing either until I found the hidden jewel. Anything else from the public?
You guys said that you went and drove around.
Mm-hmm.
How many things did you come up with at that time?
You know, I honestly didn't take any pictures or anything. There's some obvious cars. I'll give you a perfect example. We talked about discretion, right? On the north side of town, on the east side of the road, it's up by your house. Yeah. Somebody's got flower pots, and there's like the front end of a car around the flower pots. It's kind of artsy. You know what?
That's quite decorative.
I like it. Like to me, that's not, so, right, if we go by definition of junk vehicle, well, that is a vehicle component that somebody, if they really wanted to be a horse's, could argue, well, that's junk. Well, you know what? It's not. It's art. We recognize that. It's well cared for. The reason I say it's not junk is this. When you look at it, there's no weeds growing up through everything. It's trimmed around, there's flowers around it. You can tell that it is a component part of what's going on. And so that's where I talk about like the discretion. Did I see vehicles in driveways with 3 flat tires and garbage in the back? I will tell you what we saw in State Center is this. We saw property values go up. We saw the price to rent a house go up. And some folks who we just as soon as preferred didn't live in town because they didn't really want to do goodwill there, moved out of town because they don't want us knocking on their door because they don't want to take care of their property. So we actually solved a few problems by doing nuisance abatement. Sir?
One other question, building specific. What defines a building that needs to be torn down?
So we actually have an engineer that we can call if it's like even in question. But when I look at a building and I can see a hole in the roof the size of a Pontiac Bonneville outside, and the siding on the side of it is dilapidated, you can look, we had one property that literally, the guy sent me a camcorder video, that tells you how old he is, a camcorder video of 3 minutes of raccoons going in and out of the property, and nobody lives in it. Okay, that's a uninhabited building. Then we have two types of those buildings, right? They fall under the dangerous building because they're uninhabited. Then we have the kind that are a serious threat to the safety, and we have the kinds that are just, we need to address it. You know, there's a couple of empty houses in town that honestly, people don't do anything with because nobody's on them. But as soon as you start applying some pressure, guess what? The aunt who lives in Colorado who owns a house in Liscomb that didn't care, all of a sudden if it's, hey, do something about it, or it's $1,500 a month, they do something about it. Even if it's sell the property to somebody else, or they tear it down, or they give it away. The bottom line of it is, sooner or later, they will move that into the hands of somebody who's going to address the problem. All right, Ms. Mayor, I think I'm done.
Thanks so much.
You need anything for me?
I
Ted?
think so.
All right. Thank you for your time. I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate the kind words. And like I said, I'm good with whatever we can do to help you from one small community to another. Whether that's, if you want me to come help you for a couple of days, I will. If you want to pitch me a different idea of, hey, come walk us through it for the next 6 months and teach us how to do it ourselves, fine. Or if you're like, hey, we want to hire you for a year and get the heavy lifting out of the way, and then maybe we take it over ourselves, we can have that conversation too, okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Shoot, I'm coming up pretty unscathed, I was a little worried coming up. Thanks. Thank you, sir.
Sorry. Hopefully you have reviewed the minutes of the April 14th meeting, so we can approve them. Are there any edits?
Do we need that $6,500 changed, or are we doing without? For the Liberty and
No,
Liscomb?
because
I think we're gonna vote on it
Yeah.
tonight.
Okay.
You can't change it because that was the
I
vote
thought
that day.
we talked about that too, so, okay, gotcha.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes? Mike, is there a second? Ted, second. Roll call vote. Craig?
Yes.
Ted?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Pam?
Yep.
April minutes have been approved. Are there questions regarding the financial report for April?
So, I guess, Christie, I just need help. 564160 for insurance. Is that, did we do an amendment for that? Is this what you're looking at?
Under the course balance.
We'll still be getting taxes in.
Okay,
So,
okay.
Yeah, well,
That'll still, that'll go away, okay.
We'll see what it is at the end of the year.
Is there a motion to approve the financial report?
I'll make a motion.
Ted, is there a second? Craig? Roll call vote. Craig?
Yep.
Ted?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Pam?
Yep.
Devin? Financial report for April has been approved as printed. Are there questions or discussion on the bills?
I would like to add the bill to the list for, the rock that was purchased. That occurred, well, I'm still calling it a required. Was $552.52.
552.52.
$18,599.16.
And that nuisance, that Caldwell and Briarly, that was just for the left, right?
Yes.
I go Florida.
Oh, with the motorhome? Oh, with the motorhome.
Yeah,
Is it Lincoln? Is that Lincoln?
yeah.
Are there any questions regarding the bills?
Make a motion, please, Joe.
Ted?
I'll second it.
Pam? Roll call vote, Craig? Ted?
Yes.
Mike? Pam? Yes. Bills have been approved as listed. Residents' concerns?
Any resident concerns?
Residents' concerns?
Oh, yeah. I guess my main concern with, after hearing all this, I try to keep my place up, try to make it look pretty good. So, I mean, I'm not up here saying this because I'm thinking they're gonna come after me or nothing, but, you know, part of why I moved out here to Liscomb and wanna live in a small town is for that small town feel. And, you know, I think that as a council or a mayor or an elected official, that you ought to be obligated to go to knock on a door if there's an issue with somebody in your community that the citizens want addressed. That being said, you're looking at $2,500 for 1 year to do a job that we already have somebody that's supposed to be doing. So, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but it just seems kind of a cop-out to bring somebody from outside town and spend $2,500 to go knock on a door, because we all agreed basically that that's probably what needs to happen, and most of the stuff would be taken care of anyway. The man said it himself. That being said, I'm willing, as a citizen of this town, of this community, I would volunteer to be the nuisance officer, beholden to the council. You could hold me accountable, and I could hold residents accountable. That being said, as far as any kind of qualifications, it sounds like a bigger deal than it is, but, you know, work at Emerson there, I'm a nuclear value stream quality technician. I have pretty good reading comprehension. I've worked across the table negotiating a contract with a lawyer and an employer bargaining group. I can read, I can figure stuff out, and I'm not afraid to go knock on a door, but $2,500, I mean, I wouldn't cost nothing if I didn't have to. I don't know what kind of liability issues there are. You might have to pay me $1, and I might have to be an employee of the city to carry out that function, but I would be willing to do that. Thanks.
Any other residents' concerns? Bob, do you have concerns?
I live at 209 Grant Street. I have a pretty good sized backyard. Recently, the city trenched that ditch out, and it's impossible to get back in there with the mower and keep it cleaned up. It's got a pretty steep incline, and it drops straight down into the bottom of the ditch. And it runs well along the backside of my yard and up East Street, about a block and a half long. There are 2 culverts on there that adjoin 2 different properties on the opposite side of the street from my property. And people that live in those 2 properties burning trash and other things like that have plugged up both those culverts. I'm not pointing a finger at anybody, but in order for me to keep that ditch presentable, it's going to have some work done to it. Too much of, they graded too much.
There are 2 trees planted in that ditch, right?
Pardon me?
You have 2 trees planted in that ditch, correct?
No.
There are no trees in that ditch.
They're not,
He's gone right up to it, to a tree that was there, that has been there for years.
there was a row of trees that
Planet one.
required us living there.
Oh, yeah, that one, but that's not in the ditch, that's away from the ditch.
See, that's where we're running into trouble.
What does that have to do with the grading of the ditch though?
What we want is
You gotta
it to
get the
be
flow of
more
water.
smooth so we can mow it. And it doesn't
understand
need to
that.
be as wide as it is.
The trees have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Too much of the earth was removed, and I can't ride a mower back there. I don't have a push mower, but I've got 2 weed eaters, and it's impossible to get back in there and do that.
And I have thrown grass seed out because if you have bare ground, what you're gonna have come out is nothing but weeds.
Lane Richards isn't up here tonight, but he shares the same issue I do.
But his is worse even.
I don't mind mowing that ditch and weed eating around the fence that I got back there. But it's difficult to do that.
Well, we're gonna stay on that subject. One of these days, we're gonna have to put a new tile line in down there. Get rid of that clay tile.
What was it that Shoppy did a couple of years ago that he went down there? Did he put a tile in?
We fixed the tile going up through there.
We're gonna need to.
But we're gonna have to put a new tile line, so we either gotta go down through your yard with a new tile, or we gotta go the ditch around.
Do you agree that he used the wrong equipment in the first place? The equipment he had down there was too large for the job. And
Brought a small- he brought a
instead of
small
running
tractor.
parallel with the ditch, he scooped it sideways and he removed too much. It actually put the edge of the street a lot closer to falling off into that ditch. Too much of the earth was removed. It's a simple fix. Haul some more dirt down there, pack it and
And
grade it.
grade it.
And,
Then it's gonna be too high.
pardon me,
Then it's gonna be too high and the water won't run.
how would you fix it, Darwin? You
Well,
agree
like
that it
I
has to be
said,
fixed?
I put a new tile line down through it.
Would you agree that it has to be fixed?
One way or the other, we're gonna have to take trees out or something to put a new tile line down.
You wanna take the trees out because we wanna keep the trees. And you know that.
You got this tile line that's in this ditch, is clay tile, and every time them trees go looking for water, them roots are gonna go right to the tile.
You've cut through my yard, replacing that tile at least 3 times since I lived there.
And we
With the promise of replacing my yard like it was prior to you tearing it up. And I didn't complain about that. But when the job was over and everybody was gone, I had to do the cleanup. I had to reseed, I had to till, I had to straighten everything out that you promised to fix. I'm not complaining to you because you have a job to do. But all in all, it has to be cleaned up. Don't leave me a mess.
Well, that's the only thing I say, we put a grate in down there, put a new
I
tile
wonder
line
why
in.
people get discouraged keeping the property up.
What are we gonna do if the water backs up?
You can't fix what you can't fix.
It's gotta be fixed.
So put a tile
And what's
line
your idea
down
of fixing
and
it?
put the dirt over it.
See, that'd help out a lot, because that tile line going down through your yard is half plugged again.
Yeah, and is that the tile that's coming from across the street that thing's,
It
You
goes
shouldn't
down in
have to
that.
fix that tile line every 2 or 3 years and tear my yard up.
Well,
Apparently, whoever's fixing it is not fixing it right away.
We'll just have to discuss it and see what we can do about it.
Pardon me?
We'll have to discuss it and see what we can do about it.
you could stop
I
down
mean, I
and
don't
we
think
could show
we're,
you.
as councilmen, are experts on how to fix that, but we'll look into it.
I'm not complaining about the work that had to be done.
But the water doesn't stand down there for 5 or 6 days after a big rain anymore either.
It does.
Because of the ditch. It did stand there for a while, because when I went by it after we had a pretty good rain, it was standing there, but not like it used to be. It used to be like a
Oh,
lake.
like a pond, yeah.
Yeah.
But we've also
So
had it
we've done
standing on
some
the other
good, but
side
maybe
where
we
the
gotta
alley
do
is.
something else to make it easier for you to mow or whatever we need to do.
It's just pretty dangerous. to
And the
go back
tile
there
line,
now.
doesn't that go through that trailer house there too?
underneath of it.
Yeah, because
So,
You think that post they put in there for their deck went down through the tile line?
He put the post.
Because they said it
No,
was.
it didn't go through the tile
I put what post in?
Well, they said it
when
was.
you built the deck on the back of that trailer.
Oh, yeah.
But they
There-
said the
it
water
didn't-
comes shooting up out of there, so the tile must be right by it.
Because beside it, but it was a soft plate, and that water's gonna go up, it's the easiest way you can get it out of the ground.
so I,
We just gotta look into seeing what we can do to help
I
solve
was
the
told that
problem.
there's an actual runoff off that property. And how do you fix that? How do you change the course of a creek? I mean,
Yeah, because actually what Barb.
Although in the thirties, they straightened the Iowa River from here to Marshalltown, so I don't,
Mike and Ted, you wanna go look at that? And-
yeah, we can see what.
All right.
just real quick on that, not about your ditch so much, but the tile. I did stop down at Melinda's, because she texted me after those heavy rains. There is a lot of water in that ditch, in that yard still.
But we cleaned the tile line out.
That's fine, that's fine, just.
It went down.
That's fine, that's great. But the new tile's gonna need to go through there too, correct?
It'll hook on over there where the inspection hole is,
Where's the inspection hole?
on the other side of the road.
Which
We
one?
run all new lines per trailer down the road.
That's what I was asking. So what about, where does it connect there? Right where that hole is? The new stuff into the old stuff?
Yeah.
Where does it connect?
There
Right
by
where
the
that
road.
hole is? For
No,
the
that's all
posts?
this stuff there.
Okay.
And I got down in the hole.
So
You can see all the way up through that tile line.
So you have recently, since she reached out, gone and cleaned that? It's gotten cleaned out
Yeah, we jetted that line out.
in the last couple of weeks?
There ain't been no water.
it's my understanding that people are still complaining because the feet get wet when they walk out in their yard. So what was fixed?
That's what I'm trying to understand.
For
Is
people
how
who
far
are-
up do we have to fix it if we do it this
I was
time?
there a week ago and it's still flowing out.
Yeah.
Where?
Over by Melinda's, behind that back
A
door.
week ago, there was no water running out.
There was water coming out when it was wet a week
I
or
was
so
there
ago.
2 weeks ago on Wednesday, and there was water in the ditch, or in the yard.
Coming, just a trickle.
But I'm just curious, that's why I'm trying to understand the work we need to do in moving forward, is how far we need to replace it. It's just through his yard from Melinda's?
Well, if we go from his yard, right down to the bottom patch of the road.
That's all old.
That's all old.
And Melinda's whole block is new, or is it all old besides right next to
Underneath her
it?
trailer is the old tile. But
That's
it
what I was
wasn't
trying to
done.
figure out. That's what I was trying to figure out.
But you know, if we have to fix that, she's gotta move the trailer.
I was gonna say, how are you gonna do that?
She's gotta move the trailer, that's it.
Yeah.
Go around the trailer and take it someplace
Yeah.
else. Since we don't even know where it's.
And then we're gonna,
I just wanna make sure we do it right. That's my
Comes
whole
off a
point of this
small
So
conversation.
you're saying since that 4-inch rain or whatever we got, you blew the tile out? This year, this spring?
No,
I didn't blow no tile out.
Okay.
It just come to surface.
Yeah, never mind.
Okay, Ted and Mike, go look at this, please.
But she keeps telling me it's an artesian well. If it's an artesian well, that's her problem.
well,
That ain't
don't
ours.
we have a, what is that?
Jordan.
Jordan.
Oh, that's down there half mile.
Oh, I thought that was Ayers, under Ayers Basin.
Oh, you can listen to him.
Old business. Resolution 2502, approve the 2025 budget amendment. Christie, you want to read it?
It is resolved by the council of the city of Liscomb, Iowa. The annual budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2024, and ending July 30th, 2025, is set forth in the budget summary certificate and in the detailed budget in support thereof, showing the revenue estimates and appropriations, expenditures and allocations to programs and activities for said fiscal year, was adopted April 22nd, 2024.
Darwin,
And is in need of
we
being
cannot
amended
hear
due
what
to
is
extra
being
expenses
You don't need.
than budgeted, is
And you
adopted,
spent that
and
money
the
to
city
fix
clerk
it.
is directed to make the filings required by law and set up the books in accordance with the summary and details. as
Can you hear?
adopted.
Is there a motion to approve resolution -02 as printed?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second?
Roll call vote. Craig?
Yes.
Ted?
Yes.
Mike? Pam?
Yeah.
Devin? Motion carried. Discuss Christmas decorations. You have a estimate from Hawkins to redo the poles.
It was cheaper than we thought, wasn't it?
I don't know, I thought it was pretty expensive.
I don't think that's too bad, really. It's 3,000.
38, yeah, I was thinking 5,000.
Well, the first time it went $1,000 pole.
Okay, so how many poles is this?
10.
10 poles?
No,
3 poles.
No.
That's
7.
Oh, 3 poles, that's just one
Well,
thing.
in front of City Hall were 7 light pole house Christmas light
And then the next
connections.
thing is 3 poles.
So there's 10 poles. So if we want lit up decorations, we're gonna have to do this.
Seems pretty reasonable to fix that many poles compared to that first quote especially.
You're just gonna put a switch on the pole down here with the old blue green.
That would work just
That'll
fine.
shut Main Street, all the lights off of Main Street.
And is this something, whatever he's doing, we're not gonna have this issue again?
No, this was not fine enough. They can't come pull out like they used to.
Okay.
And the 3 up on State Street is on a different line. That's why they're different. So he'll have to put a breaker box on all 3 of them.
And that's included in this price.
Yeah.
So this is for electric, and we need to buy new Christmas lights.
No, this doesn't include.
Well, no,
Yeah,
he's
he
saying
said we
that
would have to buy
Oh,
new.
yeah.
you can find some not terribly
Right,
priced.
buy what?
I mean,
New lights,
I got 10.
do they all work?
Well, yeah.
Oh, Darwin.
They do.
You know, work what? Yeah.
If we spend 4,000 this year, maybe we'll spend more next year for the lights.
lights really aren't that expensive anymore unless you're looking at like some massive piece. I mean, they're down a
Lights
lot.
like we got are not very expensive.
What's that?
Lights like we have are not very expensive.
I don't know about just like you have. I'm
I
just
mean,
saying
I
like
don't
Christmas
mean
lights in
exactly.
general.
Just like we have.
Something,
Not you have,
something,
like we have.
something similar, you don't think they cost that much.
I don't think they're outrageous, no. But especially because like they were working for the most
I
part.
think when we bought these, they were what, 250 bucks?
They were here when I started.
Oh, yeah,
And
I
it's
think,
20 years.
and we did a campaign to get these, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you did.
From that.
Oh, these aren't the first ones, these are
No,
the
it's
second
about
ones.
the third.
Christmas lights.
Okay.
It depends on what you want to have. Christmas lights.
So what is your feelings on this?
Do we want lights or do we want flags, I guess is the question.
I think you should
I don't-
pick,
Well,
the lights would be
I
nice.
should have lights.
Soon have lights.
Would not
I think
have a
that-
banner like that.
That
says,
making sure
"Welcome
they
to
work
Liscomb,
correctly,
Iowa."
and then, like doing the work to make sure you can utilize
Yeah,
that
but
is
they
one
don't have
thing,
lights
and
on
then
them, are they?
you can address the Christmas lights
Later.
No,
like,
I mean-
like just,
They
and
won't be
you
lit up.
could donate, you could do a fundraiser, there's a lot of different avenues you
If
could
they're
go
under
there,
a street
and
light,
people
you'll
do
see
care
it.
about
I
that.
agree.
So I think fixing it,
I don't-
they're watching the problem that was at hand.
Okay, let's bring this back to council discussion. What is your thoughts on lights, or fixing the poles?
I'm gonna make a motion to fix the poles. Yes.
Okay, is there
I
a
second that.
second? All right, roll call vote, Craig,
Yeah.
Ted,
Yes.
Mike,
So we get them lighted.
Pam,
Yes.
Devin.
Yeah.
All right, discussion on Liberty and Liscomb. Pam?
Liberty Liscomb discussion.
We need to, make a formal motion on that $8,500 for fireworks.
Okay, I'll make a motion.
I have one question, it's not about the fireworks either. Who
Wait,
says?
Pam, oh, I'm sorry.
We can do that, but I still have a question.
Okay.
We can do that.
Pam, let's do your question first.
Who
Yeah.
who set the agenda for Liberty Liscomb?
We haven't said it yet.
Well, no, but you guys made like a plan, right?
We're working on it. I mean,
Nobody showed up to the meetings.
We haven't
I
had a
never heard
meeting.
about it.
I didn't either.
It was in the newsletter.
I don't get it evidently.
Generally,
Get a
water
water
bill.
bill.
We get a water bill
I
so
don't
often.
I don't read it.
I don't.
Well,
I
there.
just see how much I ever did either.
Okay,
So
well,
what do you want?
no, I guess my only thing is I just wanna make sure that those things all get sent through, since the city of Liscomb is putting their stamp on it, basically. I think it would be important for those things to come through the council, just for approval on, like, the agenda of the day, I guess.
Okay, we will have that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, we will send that out
Okay.
via email as soon as we have a meeting.
Yeah.
It's been delayed.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Pam, now go back to fireworks.
Okay,
Where you're talking about,
making a motion?
no,
Oh.
Just the whole
go,
fireworks.
the
The whole
fireworks
thing.
issue.
Sarah has not gotten back to me with the contract.
But go back through the,
Okay, J&M display.
but where they're gonna shut off at.
Oh, shot off.
Yes.
She definitely does not want to shoot them off out here. She either wants, and she hasn't given me an answer yet, back by the lagoon or the burn pile. And she has to figure out which one cause she's got the, beacon, off the beacon site of where this stuff is, and she has not told me exactly where she wants to put it. She said they need enough room for a 12-foot trailer. And room around it to light the fireworks on. So I have not gotten her final, what are we gonna do?
So I guess just two questions with that. One, where's everybody gonna sit? Being out
I
there.
have a question, Jody said she would get a hold of the Bruce,
CO.
from the elevator and see if we can have parking
But
down.
there's a little bit of discussion there on account of liability.
So they say no, what's,
Like kids running over there climbing the ladders around the fans. Get her in that
I
bunker.
never thought about that.
and then my only other second thing is I thought of it, it's been a lot of fun up there, having everybody running around,
Yeah, it has.
having everybody
There's
together.
not enough room
No,
out
no, no,
there.
that's,
Oh.
that's fine and dandy,
Okay.
that's what she thinks.
Okay.
I would hate to lose that, because that's been half the fun. Because I see people that I don't talk to all year, a little bit my fault, I'm a hermit.
Mike?
But I enjoy seeing people up there, I enjoy seeing kids run around, play yard games, there's popcorn or something. I really enjoy that, and I would hate to lose that, because I think that's half the draw. at least
If
for
you wanna
little
do
kids.
that, we could stop this right now. Because they won't do it, because their liability insurance will not.
That company
cover
will
it.
do it.
So,
No.
So why can't
if
they
you wanna
get,
find somebody else,
so why can't they get smaller fireworks, instead of big?
this is like 3-inch.
can't get.
I can't argue with her, Darwin, this is how they do it. They
So
do it
is-
all over the United States.
Is she not willing to do it in the pasture back behind? Is that still too close?
Yes, it is.
What's
I
the
agree.
vicinity she gave you?
I agree with you, Devin. I think that there is a loss of community, but I don't even know if we're gonna be able to park at the co-op.
Is there something that can be done at the park to draw people there before the fireworks even to do that? Then they'd have to leave maybe to go watch it, but I don't know.
Where are they
Because
gonna
this isn't
park?
my, who's that place they parked down here to go up there? But I mean, for fireworks, I don't know. I was just thinking,
Up the
losing
park,
that loss of.
we had all kinds of room for them parking up at the park.
Oh, well, that's just it, but if we go to the co-op and they,
Well, they already have an issue with that, so.
yeah.
Wait, that's why you just set it back in the pasture or something. I hate to lose that up there.
Me too.
So if we didn't have the fireworks, you think kids would go up there and play till dark and
No.
do whatever?
Well, I
just
didn't know
think
if there was
as a
something.
whole, it's been-
I know,
really
I
neat.
know, I just brought that up because it's kinda getting to be a pain in the.
Because she, and I don't have that on me, I didn't bring my Liberty and Liscomb. Because she made comment to me, because I said, the distance thing, and she says, there are other factors beside the distance. So,
I'm
You don't
just,
know what that means.
I'm just wondering if we should go back to $6,500 like we originally planned for this year, not knowing how this is
I
gonna
can't
work.
change it.
Oh, you've signed a contract?
No, but I can't, she won't,
We haven't signed a
We haven't,
contract.
did you tell her 8,500?
yes,
But we haven't signed a contract.
no.
No. So why wouldn't you go back to 6,500?
I mean, if we're gonna.
I'm just asking, I don't know.
Because I think she's probably already ordered the stuff for this.
Why would she if she doesn't have a
Yeah, I don't see.
Why
it.
can't,
She ordered it and don't even know where she's gonna set them off at?
Because, well, she knows where she's gonna set them off. She has to just get that to us on where she's gonna set
She
them.
would not have that issue.
Okay, I have a solution. I have a solution for the year.
Okay?
I have an acre and a half.
But I don't think.
No, I don't think what?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, not for the fireworks.
Oh.
I have an acre and a half that is close down there. My only thing is, I'd hate for anybody to get hurt, there should be no reason to get hurt. But people could come hang out down there. Now, I'm pretty much the closest to those fireworks,
Right.
so I don't know if they could see it from that lot.
But you're undertaking liability.
That's what I'm saying, that's what I don't know where
I
that
don't
would be
know that he
protected, but
would be.
I don't know how that would go. I'm just saying, that's, if we're shooting them off down there, I do have a lot that could be used, and I'm willing to do that. And I don't see why it wouldn't work.
Well, I
And
guess,
then we have another year to figure out what we're gonna do moving forward.
yes. I guess the question would be, what did the insurance say? How much is this event insurance? They still don't have an answer for us. So,
Put on another address.
there's gotta be another fire out there somewhere.
It's just, we don't do fireworks. I don't know, I could ask her.
Find out.
Get too expensive to have.
Well, we got money coming in.
Well, we don't. We don't.
You don't have the donations this
No,
year.
no.
What is your donations looking like this year?
56.75.
And you've gone to everybody you've always gone to.
Oh, and more. They're
Is
not
that
com-
because the Prushas donated a lot, or what?
What?
Is that because the Prushas actually,
no, he was
Yeah.
paid for everything.
Oh. He didn't donate anything.
Yeah. His time.
Donated his time.
Yes.
How come we can't have him?
He just
He
didn't
doesn't
wanna
wanna
do it anymore.
He
Why?
told us last year, right after, and I asked Wendy, his wife, and she said, no, he's done. He doesn't wanna do it anymore.
Who contracted it?
Same people, I believe. I reached out to them.
Does Albion know?
Yes, and I asked them, and I never got an answer. I asked some council members.
So Conrad has J&M?
I'm trying to find the message. I'm pretty sure that that's what they said. Darn, where would that be? Anyways, I'd have to find it. I was pretty sure they gave me a message back, and I was pretty sure it was the same people.
Well, and I think this is the worst year. Because we're just getting it set up. She hasn't been here. She doesn't know exactly where she wants to have them. You know, she doesn't know exactly what this looks like and can we use the pasture and, you know.
Okay, what, can you shut down the road? It's not the main road.
Yeah.
Can you shut
We
down
can-
Clinton Street?
Yeah, I
And
think
you
so.
can have a lot of people sitting there, you can still have hangouts there. If my yard is allowed to be used without me getting in trouble for anybody getting hurt, you can do some things in my yard and Clinton Street.
And that would be,
Pretty much only me and my neighbor couldn't get out at that
Our
point.
insurance.
that would be Shomo.
So,
Can we
can
cover?
shut down the street.
like I said, and then,
We can't-
honestly,
Oh,
Clinton
yeah,
Street,
Clinton.
We can't shut down.
shut it down to the corner, people have plenty of room to sit, to watch.
Okay, so you'll check on Devin's.
We just gotta find out where she's at.
And if we have not the burn pile, I need to shut the burn pit down.
Yeah, don't burn anything for so long before.
Yeah, it hasn't been, that pile cleaned up there, right?
They probably don't care about the whole house being left, as long as it ain't hot.
Okay, when,
How do they get the
when can
dimensions up
we,
here?
when can we finalize what we're doing on fireworks?
Yeah, right.
Huh?
well, I mean, she's gotta send the contract. See, she's a nurse.
Was that Friday that she asked me all that?
You know, I don't know, cause I got it at work, I didn't get it at home, so I
Oh,
answered
so
her
it must
today.
have been.
So, as soon as she sends the contract, we'll know if it's at the burn pile or in the.
Yes, she'll have all that information. Today, she sent an email, she wanted to know who the city man was, who the mayor was, who else?
Fire chief.
Fire chief, yeah, and their cell phone numbers for emergency contacts.
So I would close plan on Clinton from my corner all the way down to Deb's or so, and just give people plenty of space to move.
Well, there's a lot of parking there.
Well, and you may have some, I mean, it'll be perfect if they park out on Craig's Gravel Road. I mean, it might not be the best place, but,
No.
you know,
Don't tell them. Just give them a rejection.
because they used to park out here.
Okay, I will check on closing Clinton Street from this four-way stop to,
Sure.
SF.
Highway.
Highway.
Like I said, if I'm wheelbarrow, I'm good, I don't care if people playing the yard there, it's a good use for it.
I had to fill a certain bus line.
What's that?
My cross arms fill up the bus line.
Yep.
Okay, discussion.
But we have to make a motion on paying.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
I'm sorry, thank you. I'm sorry, thank you. So is there a motion to approve the fireworks contract of $8,500? No, it's a
Yes.
total $8,500.
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Yep.
Okay, roll call vote. Craig?
No.
Okay, Ted?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Pam?
Yes.
Devin? Okay, discussion concerning the new building. Are we ready to pay the bill?
Yes.
And we have how much left? 75?
Okay, so he can pick up the check?
I can go ahead and,
I signed it, didn't
I deleted it, I
Oh.
deleted that one.
Okay.
You know, he fixed some of the things, and we're just gonna have to,
I? Live with it.
in a minute, we need to fix a few things, we're just gonna have to fix a few things.
Okay.
But he did come back and fix other things, so.
And the door now works wonderfully since you got the door opener in.
Yeah, they come, they fixed it all.
I make a
Oh.
motion.
Oh, to pay the bill. Second.
Yeah.
Roll call vote, Craig?
Yes.
Ted?
Yes.
Mike? Pam?
Yep.
Deb?
Yep.
Okay, discussion on nuisances.
We do have that one letter out, yet till the end of April 30th,
So,
to clean it up.
okay, now what did that letter specify?
Oh,
Odor?
trash and, yeah,
Tires?
I don't know that the tires were,
Okay.
but he moved the tires. I didn't bring the letter with me.
Devin's good.
Oh,
Okay, I found it. You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Dear Clifford, or 502 Clinton. This notice is to inform you that as the owners of 502 Clinton Street, Liscomb, Iowa, that you are, oh, my phone just did something. Okay, sorry. In violation of City Liscomb Code of Ordinance, Section 50.04, nuisance prohibited by maintaining a nuisance property located at 502 Clinton Street as defined in City of Liscomb Code of Ordinance, Section 50.01, definition of nuisance. Specifically, you are in violation of Code Ordinance 50.02, filth or noisome substances by causing any offal, filth, or noisome substances to be collected or to remain in any place on the property to the prejudice of others. Such violation constitutes, I'm not saying that right, am I? A municipal infraction as set forth in Code of Ordinance 50.07, punishable by a fine not to exceed $750 per day plus cost. You are therefore directed to abate the nuisance from the property by removing all trash, garbage, and other substances and material which create or cause the nuisance and refrain from maintaining or allowing additional trash, garbage, or any other material on the property which create or continue this nuisance. In the event you fail to abate or cause to be abated the nuisance described above by April 30th, 2025, the city will file a municipal infraction as provided by the City of Liscomb Code of Ordinances. Signed, Richard Szynski.
Okay, so what do you want to do on this?
You already sent it, right?
That's been sent.
Yeah, that's-
So you want to file
File
a
a
municipal
municipal
infraction.
So how long did we give them to do that?
Oh, they had a month.
They have a month.
They had a month.
They had a month since we sent the letter.
Right.
So I'm just gonna tell you what I've seen, and I'm not gonna vote on this because I'm involved in this.
Hey,
They took out some trash
what are they
bags.
talking about?
And mind you, I'm not the one that complained about the trash, because you know me, I'm generally one to leave people alone.
Who?
I'm just gonna put that out there.
Charles.
The trash bags have been removed. All,
Like, from the property.
some,
Okay.
probably, I'd say 8, because they were sitting at the bottom of the stairs for months.
So
The
how many
rest-
are left? About.
I'd say there's 4 or 5 sitting out back still, but they're piled in a pile of vacuums and just junk. There's fans out there, there's a humidifier, I think, there's a mower, there's tires. So that just all got moved out back, behind the house, just right behind the house. Regarding the smell, which is what I have complained about, they don't understand that the smell's inside the house. She scooped 5 loads of dog poop out the front and dumped it by the side door. And I got to smell that even worse, so now the smell is even worse down there. The smell is literally not improved at all. So that is where those violations stand.
What do you do when you don't have the means to fix what's broke at their place?
But that's just it,
But-
but it's not broke, it's just,
But they don't have the means to.
I saw,
But they got to this
I
point,
saw a
I
pretty
guess.
good sized lady mowing her yard with a small electric weed eater. I'm not defending them, but the people have no means to pick up after themselves, even if they wanted to, they have no means.
So I
So
am,
you impose a $750 fine on people that can't pay their water bill or electricity.
so I'm gonna just tell you from my personal opinion.
I wouldn't like it either.
And they know me. I don't like going after people. As a whole, I think we need to leave people alone if you're not bugging people. That's just my opinion. I'm just telling you from personal experience down there, I have to run my air conditioning in my own house because the smell is so bad.
Maybe there's a better approach.
but how do
You
you?
would think, but the thing is,
identify
they have
that? It's their dog poop,
inside.
Dogs are gonna poop no matter what, Dan.
but
When I've driven past there, it is a mess. Do they have a shovel? Do they have a trailer?
So here's the main problem. I don't care about the trash outside. The smell emanates from the house. Because
I
they
bet
don't,
money, they don't have enough money to take anything to the landfill.
well, again, I don't care about the trash.
The city of Liscomb has, don't they have?
They got garbage cans. They got a garbage can that's never full.
But
Then isn't somebody going to talk to them about cleaning up their?
So I'm gonna tell you-
Was they talked to or just got a letter?
So, I know personally, I would have gone and talked to them if he
Did
hadn't
you?
assaulted me 2 years ago. But it's true.
It sounds like it might be inherited behavior.
No,
Inherited.
but again, at that point, you have to get the sheriff involved, though.
Right from his
Most
dad.
people are not gonna do that.
His uncle.
So
Are
you
they
want
at
me to go
fault?
talk to him? And be
I'll go talk
assaulted?
to him, but that's a different conversation. But I will go talk to people, and I would have actually gone and talked to this guy.
Okay, see, and that's where a nuisance officer comes into account.
Well, and that's opinions, that's fine, you know.
I would send a female down to talk to him if he assaulted you.
Yeah, no, at a certain
You
point, you
do
can't go
that.
talk to people, absolutely. There's certain people that you can't.
Was he cordial to you?
No. So,
Okay, so what do we want to continue with this multiple and?
what's next step?
Municipal infraction.
He files the paperwork with the court to have them clean it up.
Sounds like a plan to me.
The smell from inside the house, so.
You're not gonna, it's not gonna
When
change.
they, when they won't clean up after the critters now, maybe it would encourage them to clean up after. But at some point, it still permeated the whole house, and so, which it had already had some of that from prior residents. I don't know.
When I worked with a social worker on another case in town, the social worker told me that some people choose to live like they live, and we can't do anything about it.
And I would not care if I didn't have a smell in my house. Because Bill's house, when Bill lived there, it stunk. I went and checked on Bill numerous times in a year, and it always stunk when I walked up to it. It didn't bug me though, because I couldn't smell it from my property, so that doesn't matter to me. If he wants to live in that, that is his right.
So what's changed from when he lived there to when?
7 dogs and 13 cats.
So he didn't have
He didn't have.
all these animals?
No.
Bill had cats.
So when I moved there, Bill had just kicked out the cats. Yes.
Miss Willie was
Yes.
gone.
And I will tell you, the smell actually, when I first moved there, on a humid day, you could smell it, a couple days. But otherwise you couldn't. By the time he left, I couldn't smell it anymore unless I went to his front door.
So what do they do with the manure that they scoop out of the house?
They don't.
They don't.
That's the point.
So
It is-
can we go after them about inside the house?
Can there be a welfare check?
That's,
That's
it's been
what
tried.
she
Check
had.
into that, a welfare check.
That's what Danette was
Well,
with.
I've
They-
tried
So
on
we-
that with other properties,
They
That-
said you can't.
but we can. I
Because
mean,
there's
That was
a,
actually
well,
done-
but if they're proved incompetent of taking care of themselves, then something can be done.
have you ever done a welfare check?
On them?
Yeah.
When Bill was there, we did. They refused to answer the door. We watched DHS show up 6 times and they never ever answered that door.
Well, I
Well,
would be
then it
willing,
gets to,
I'd be willing to call DHS.
But, so what we
or
got.
the sheriff's
so-
department.
So, sheriff's department has also been called because of animal neglect.
There was a recommendation.
Yeah, what was
You recommended,
go
a long time ago, when we talked about this 2 or 3 years ago.
Well, there were
Claim
no
that it's
kids in
not
this
like
other
an ed box,
situation.
and
Yeah.
the sheriff would have to go in and investigate.
Well, I know when Bill down there, when he told his niece and nephew, she said, "You think I'm bad?
Yep.
They're worse."
Yep, that's what he told me to my face.
Thank
So what,
you.
so
I
what
know
will
it's bad.
municipal infraction accomplish? They don't scoop anything out the door.
No.
Well, didn't somebody say there were 5 scoops in?
That was out from out front.
They cleaned up out front.
And they dumped it by the side. No.
She left.
But it's difficult. I'm not gonna say it's not difficult, but I don't see, okay, Danette, you're in my position.
I'm
What are
sure-
you gonna try and do?
Well, I'm sure it is, but I mean,
But if the lawyer thought we had some sort of grounds, if he thought we didn't have some sort of grounds, I don't think he'd be sending this letter.
but I thought, we thought that the manure was outside.
They cleaned what was outside and piled it by a tree.
This letter was generic for smell and trash. I mean, it's not, we never said just outside on that letter.
Well, have you mailed that letter then, or?
Oh,
The attorney.
Okay, so what do you wanna do here?
Well, we gotta follow through, but how much is this gonna cost? With no nuisance, I mean, is there anything you would be able to do?
Just the lawyer paperwork, right? That's what it's gonna cost.
It'll take
Run it
the
for
court.
What would you do, what would you do as a voluntary nuisance officer?
I'd go knock on the door first and have dialogue with them, I'd get what they said, and if they don't, comply, then I'd have to let them know that and I would go down and let them know that, hey, you're gonna get a court summons, because this has to be done with. And then they go to court and the judge deals with it, I guess, and you just take down all the information to present to the judge in the court.
Okay.
I guess to me, you sent the letter, so.
So I think we need to follow. I don't know what grounds we have to stand on, but, I mean, if it's, the smell is in the house, but,
Go look in the house, if you can get to the door.
well, that's. All right, let's have a motion on what we should do here.
I thought I had a problem with the ditch, I wouldn't trade your place.
I would really have a lot more issues than this.
Is there a motion to file a municipal infraction?
I don't actually know what a good is.
I mean,
If I was gonna pursue that, I would start at the road, obviously, and you have the right to go up to the door and address them. And I would take note that it smelled at the road and that it smelled worse at the door. So you're putting that in there, that they can, you're tracing it to that door with evidence.
So I guess-
Testimony taken, I mean.
but to me, we're already sent.
We've already sent the letters, so I think we need to follow through.
Okay, stupid
Right.
idea. If you guys wanna have Liberty and Liscomb over there, you kinda need it dealt with.
Very good point. Excellent point.
No, it's all right. You all come down and try to smell with me. Come on down.
Is there a motion to file a municipal infraction?
See what they think after.
I think that
I
was.
feel better.
All right, is that a motion? All right, is there a second?
You wouldn't be able to change now.
Is there a second?
I don't know how you're gonna push, if you're gonna go after other people for things, I just don't see. I'm trying to stay impartial here, because I'm not gonna vote, but you wanna go after other people for things. That lawyer would not have sent the letter if he didn't think that there was grounds. Period, end of story.
We have a motion on the floor.
I guess I'll second it, we spent $20,000.
All right.
Spend a couple thousand over there.
Okay, we have a motion, Craig, and a second. Roll call vote. Craig? Ted?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Pam? And you're gonna abstain?
Yeah, I stay.
Okay. Consider the resolution 25-03 Marshall County. What?
They do the easiest one for tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry. Consider the village and liquor license, I skipped it, I'm sorry.
States are other stuff, right?
Yeah,
It's all done.
it's a formality. Is there a motion to approve the license?
Yes.
Second.
Second.
Roll call vote, Craig.
Yes.
Ted.
Yes.
Mike. Pam. Devin. Okay, resolution, resolution 2503, Marshall County Sheriff Extension. How much is it gonna cost?
Same as last.
Okay.
4 years.
We don't need to read it, do we? All right, is there a motion to approve resolution 2503, Marshall County Sheriff, Extension Agreement?
I'll second it.
All right, Craig,
I'll second out the door.
wait a minute.
We're not there yet.
Craig, whoa, Craig,
Yeah.
Ted,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Pam, Jeff.
Yep.
All right, nuisance officer discussion and consider contract.
Okay, I just have a couple questions. So year 2, he goes up to $9,500.
We've always got the option.
Hypothetical, what are you gonna do?
We've
Are
got
you
the
willing?
option to stop.
So, do you wanna spend 10 grand if he goes up the second year?
It all depends.
9,500 if you were to go up year 2? Or are you willing to take it over then?
It all
Don't you
depends.
think we'll learn something?
Yeah, no,
We're
absolutely.
gonna learn something.
So that leads,
Be just like the property right beside you, I think we're gonna learn a lot.
so I guess to me, that just leads me to, and he said he was willing to work with us. I'd be a lot more curious on this if we worked with him and not necessarily him, I don't wanna say hawking, but
All depends who's on the
So what?
council.
Yeah.
not real, I mean, yes and no, but I'm just saying I'd be more curious on him teaching us instead at the same time on how to do this better than him just watching over
I
the.
think he'll do that with, if we do a contract for the year. What's he gonna charge us to come up and help us? He said $80 an hour. So how often are we gonna have him here?
I don't know, they
Well,
said
why
that
did
he
you
drives
get
like
that
that.
out
What
of
did he
that
say,
conversation,
Morris?
Ted?
He said,
Well,
He said Buddy would.
But he'll do a contract with us for 2,500. He said
For
if
the
it was
year.
$80 an hour,
Okay.
and he'd come up here, once or twice a month or whatever, ended up being $9,000.
Yes.
And this
But
is
they're
just
willing to
30.
do it for a year for 2,500.
I
This is
think,
just 31 hours.
I think
so.
he would take care of, we talked about your situation,
That's fine.
and I think he would take care of that, one of the first priorities.
I'm not trying to be a pain here. I guess I'm just failing to understand how we don't do this ourselves, I guess. With the process we have.
Okay, when you had contact with him before, and you got assaulted? Okay.
You'd go
Now,
back
this
again?
guy, if he gets assaulted, is a whole different story. He's an officer.
But he's not acting as an officer.
Yeah, so.
Yes, he is, when he's doing nuisance abatement, he's not an officer for State Center, he's not an officer for Marshall County, but he is an officer.
Officer for us.
So wouldn't the person, any person in that role?
Anyway, I make the
Right.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. We have a motion on the floor, and we have a second. Now, state your motion again.
I make a motion, we hire the nuisance officer, John Thomas, and his partner Meredith Clark for 1 year for $2,500.
Second.
All right, roll call vote. Craig,
Yeah.
Ted,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Pam,
Yes.
Devin.
Now, is that with him gonna do it all by himself or, and his partner?
Oh, he's got Meredith, yeah.
Got
She
it.
does the paperwork.
She does, she's the trained nuisance officer.
Okay.
I would be a good neighbor.
We'll go through your reports quickly. Do you have anything from Ben?
He was here, he left.
With the new truck, they want to donate one of the boxes that's on the back of the old grass buggy to Clemens. Something was going to Clemens and something in the grain tube, they're getting a new one.
Oh, yeah,
And,
yeah,
and the current grain tube go to a different
it's gonna
department.
go to somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't know
Well,
exactly.
Something's going to Clemens, but I can't remember the other.
It's something we don't, we've updated and we don't.
Yeah. And as far as I can see, as long as they're donating it, it's fine. We can donate it to another nonprofit. Your truck's getting closer,
Yeah.
being on the road.
You've got a fire department rep here.
Oh, what's up?
You got anything to report?
Stuff, equipment going to Clemens or something?
Oh, I will message him real quick. Sorry, I didn't realize we had gotten that far already.
While you look for that, is there a first responders report?
I don't know.
Okay, streets and alleys.
Bucky's,
We gotta look at Bucky's. You all three go to Bucky's.
Well, that's Bracy, but not that.
And all for it. Parks, Devin, your trees come yet? Okay. Utilities, any unpaid water bills?
I think there's only one off.
Sanitation, your report, Ted?
It's about the same, she changed it up a little bit. We recorded 2.1 inches of rain in March. Flow was 1,040,000 gallons, average 33
Zillion gallons.
Same report.
All right.
Plus Darwin has something. Flow.
Oh, Ben,
Howdy.
would you like to give a report?
Making awesome progress on the new truck. We're hoping to take the skid out of the old truck, put it in the new truck Sunday afternoon. So we should have all the lights done, all the radio, the whole shebang should be done by hopefully Sunday afternoon.
And who are you donating stuff to?
The rear basket off the old truck to Union Fire. They actually have no basket, no way to have somebody in the back. Yeah, they sit on the edge of the truck, literally. So, yeah, we're gonna donate one basket to Union Fire.
And
Keep the other
something
one.
goes to Clemens?
What's that?
Something goes to Clemens?
It depends on the, Josh Gold, his family. They're the ones that actually donated the old, drain tube, rescue tube. And we're gonna make sure it's okay with them. We're gonna donate it to Clemens, because Clemens is the only one in the area that has that style tube. And the one that we're going to purchase is the one that matches Albion's. So that our mutual aid department, is actually, we have the same gear. The smart play on our part. So everybody stuff kind of meshes, works together.
Makes it easier for them to steal it.
So, I'm clever, I know how to catch. Big letters.
Anything else, Ben?
That's about it. So probably we'll know by Sunday, when we can let Darwin have the other truck.
Okay.
So it'll be ready to go in the parade.
Oh, you guys see nothing yet.
She's purdy.
Yeah, we're gold leaf, silver leaf, it'll be a nice truck.
Very good, thank you, Ben.
Yep.
Anything on public safety or the community good?
I noticed one of the signs up front needs more.
She'll be the flagship vessel of our fleet.
Oh,
nice. It might not be a terrible idea to look into either fixing them or replacing them.
sign out
The
front.
wood lettering, this is, I think it's the fire department, but they're all kind of looking, we probably should have had high schoolers paint those. Well, maybe paint it again.
Is that a Jaden job?
Later, love.
Is that a shop teacher in ACL that could make us
Think about the door as soon as school gets out.
I will.
Okay.
About that this week.
All right, is there anything else for the good of the cause? Is there a motion, anybody else? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
You got it.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.
I'm out of here.
You gotta pipe up, homie.
I missed it earlier.
Oh.
Thought I had a chance, but